We the people are at a defining moment in our history and our future. On Wednesday the 14th of April, we'll have the chance to return to these islands to a path of prosperity and opportunity for our people. And as you vote, I trust you will embrace the words of Nelson Mandela when he said, "May your choices reflect your hopes and not your fears." 4 years ago on Valentine's Day, I announced my candidacy for my home district of Buddentown West. It is fair to say that a lot has happened around the world and in the Cayman Islands in the past 1,460 days. In those 4 years, we have seen leadership changes in both the United States and the United Kingdom, the devastating effects of hurricanes on our Caribbean neighbors, an increase in social awareness as a result of the Me Too movement and the Black Lives Matter movement, and a global pandemic. Here at home in the Cayman Islands, we also saw an increase in social awareness with our own people supporting the CPR group and an even greater awareness against gender violence with the hashtag #SheIsSupported. Yet, over the last 4 years, our daily lives are still defined by unsustainable cost of living expenses, unbearable traffic levels, a failing education system, and older people who cannot afford to retire. Despite these life-changing events, 3 things have not changed. 1, our spirit of resilience. 2, our faith in humanity. And 3, our capacity to fight for effective change. It is with this backdrop that I'd like to formally announce my intention to stand for re-election in my own constituency of Buddentown West. It has been a privilege to serve as your representative since May 2017, and I'm forever humbled by your support. For the past 38 years, Buddentown West has been the home for most of my family, where 7 of my grandmother's 10 children grew up. During that time, many of you have opened your doors to my family and welcomed us to your home. Buddentown West is not a political constituency for me. It is where I live. It is my home. As your representative, I have worked tirelessly to champion policies that value family life, reward hard work, and support the community we all share. My grandmother, the late Miss Mack, arrived here in 1948 when our population was just over 7,000 people. As a second-generation Caymanian, I can tell you from my own first-hand experience that it was our ability to come together and work together to integrate is what made our islands what it is today. It was that sense of welcome and acceptance more than 70 years ago why my grandmother decided to make the Cayman Islands her home. As I've said many times before, whether you were born Caymanian or achieve your citizenship via other means like my grandmother and my dad, the late Roy Saunders, we are and will always be one Cayman. My decision to enter politics was heavily influenced by my dad, who only had 3 jobs in his life: a seaman, a bartender, and most importantly, a father. I honor his influence by the red tie that I wear on special occasions. My dad would always remind me of Luke 12:48 that says, "To whom much is given, much will be required." The people of the Cayman Islands gave me an education and, more importantly, a second chance when I failed my first year in university. It is only fair and right that I pay back that trust and faith in me at a time when I have both the mental and physical fortitude to do so. 4 years ago, when I came knocking on doors asking for your support, I outlined I wanted to make the lives of families better, fight for mortgage protection, restore dignity to pensioners, and push for real fuel regulation. I outlined plans to give our pensioners a monthly stipend, return of free health care for our children, free health care for retirees, and proposal to reduce the cost of living. With the exception of the last 2 motions that I brought regarding pension reform and increasing the vacation leave, every other single motion was accepted by the government. Unfortunately, despite accepting them, none of these motions were implemented by the government, thus questioning their desire for changes to the current system, which continue to marginalize our people and limit opportunities for growth and prosperity. My sisters and I, as well as many of my cousins, were fortunate to grow up in a Cayman where a bartender like my dad and a waitress like my mother could support 5 children on their salaries, and with government assistance, educate those 5 children to university level. I stand before you today as proof that the Caymanian dream is possible and that we have a responsibility to ensure that the Caymanian dream does not become a memory. My generation benefited from the hard work and contribution of previous generation. And as the late Reverend Ribble reminded us, we build on foundations we did not lay. We warm ourselves by fires we did not light. We sit in the shade of trees we did not plant. We drink from wells we did not dig. We profit from persons we did not know. My friends, the purpose of an election is not to determine winners or losers. It is to determine the will of the people. Elections have consequences. It allows those that are in government to pursue their policies. I'm asking you to heed the words of Mandela and not vote your fears, but rather vote your hopes. I'm therefore asking you to support me to pursue policies that allow us to achieve a work-life balance where parents can arrive home at a decent hour and have more time for family life and less time in traffic. I'm asking you to support me so that I can push for policies that allow us to create a pathway for lifelong learning with free education for all Caymanians, regardless of age. I'm also asking you to support me so that I can push for policies that will lay the foundations for universal health care, where we will see a return to free health care for our children and seniors. I'm also asking you to support me so that I can push for policies that will bring real regulation to address the high cost of fuel, electricity, and communication costs. I'm asking you to support me so that I can push for policies that will address the high cost of living and the low compensation to employees. In return, I pledge to continue to work in your best interest with integrity and objectivity while remaining accountable to you and only you. Truthful and leading by example, keeping with the Nolan principles of public life: selflessness, integrity, objectivity, accountability, openness, honesty, and leadership. My friends, I'm not going to tell you that this will be an easy task. I am just one man, but I'm counting on there being at least 9 other decent men and women out there committed to uplifting all Caymanians. I'm also not going to tell you that we will have a Cayman where everyone is rich, but I can tell you that we can have a Cayman where nobody is poor. We can have a Cayman where there are opportunities for our people that they don't have to struggle to make ends meet. But my friends, it starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with us working together, coming together to move our islands forward together. My friends, it starts with 3 simple words: we the people. God bless.